Welcome, everybody. We are excited to be back and be talking with Tom Robinson, Business Service Manager of Michigan Works Southeast. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it very much.
Absolutely, Tom. We've had a chance to kind of work in a virtual capacity, but today we get to meet in person, which is
Good
really
to be
nice.
back, right?
Yes.
Enjoying somewhat normalcy again. Excited about it.
Exactly, us too. So, Tom, worked with us a little bit previously on one of our workshops that we held with the Livingston County Chamber Alliance on today's workforce. So, Michigan Works Southeast is a great resource right here in Livingston County, and I invited Tom on today to share with us a little bit about his background, career path, and Michigan Works. So, Tom, do you want to just start by sharing a little bit about your background and career path that led you to Michigan Works?
You bet. Before we start on that, you mentioned that we're a resource. Michigan Works is a great resource. I've been here just a year and a half, or just under a year and a half now, and what I've learned is, unfortunately, Michigan Works is a unknown resource. So hopefully, with this kind of communication getting out there, more businesses take advantage of our services and know we're out here to help them. So, but a little bit about my career path. So it's been a long road getting here. I spent 19 years previously to this role running a large call center in Jackson, Michigan. We had about anywhere from 300 to 650 seats in a brick and mortar facility there. And that gave me a lot of exposure in running large business operations. We primarily served utility companies across the state. That role prepared me to understand what businesses do, the hiring challenges of businesses when we were onboarding, 30 to 50 people a month. And in addition to my role at managing or directing the call center, I owned some small businesses in the Jackson area, and also spent some time volunteering at U of M during their, for their kidney peer mentoring program. And then the other ingredient that brought me here was I spent 8 years on Livonia City Council. So it gave me great exposure again to businesses coming into community, what works in a municipal setting, different programs and grants that were available to businesses that were wanting to relocate there, working with the state on enterprise zones and those kind of things. So this role came up about a year and a half ago, just prior to COVID. And it was a perfect opportunity for me to bring together all my passions, right? Serving the community, doing volunteer work, and taking my business experience, putting into one role here, and helping local area businesses in the 5 counties grow, prosper, and take advantage of resources to them available to them.
Awesome. So you mentioned you were in your previous role for 19 years then, huh?
I was.
Wow.
It's a long time.
What a change. That's and so now, how long have you been in this role at Michigan Works?
So I started 2 weeks prior to COVID. So what's that been, about a year and 2 months now?
Okay.
So it was quite a change, right? So 19 years managing a call center, directing a large operation like that, into a new role, and then suddenly the world changed on not myself, but everybody around us, right? So it's been a heck of a change. But
Absolutely. So you started in a virtual capacity. Is that likely to, or did you not?
Well, it was 2 weeks.
Okay.
So
On the
not
job.
not
Okay.
virtual for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden, like everyone else, had to adapt to a virtual environment for myself in the new role, and of course everyone on the business services team as well. And they did a fantastic job with it. Couldn't have asked for a better group of team members to start with during a transitional change, like not only for me, but for the world.
Yeah.
And that's not understating it at
No.
all, as everyone listening knows.
Absolutely. I think a lot of our listeners and our guests can relate.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Well, wonderful. So tell us about your role at Michigan Works
Um,
and how it kind of came to be.
So the position came up when you went through the interview process, and was fortunately offered the opportunity, and looking forward again to bring together the things that I enjoy doing. Currently the role, traditionally is and will be and has been servicing the 5 counties in the Michigan Works Southeast region, which is Lenawee, Hillsdale, Jackson, Livingston, and so Lenawee, Hillsdale, Jackson, Livingston, and
Washtenaw?
I'm sorry?
Is it Washtenaw?
Washtenaw, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, the
sorry.
big one, Washtenaw counties, yeah. So that's my role, and what we do is we have 11 business service professionals that go out there and interact with the community, either Zoom or preferably face-to-face as we move forward here. Talk to them about the resources and services that we have available to them. And a lot of those things, we'll get into details here in a few moments, but things like training grant opportunities, helping them recruit or find talent. We don't do direct placements, but we connect with them to help find talent, sourcing and recruiting. We do virtual job fairs. We will work with them on referrals to the SBDC. Anything that's going on in the community related to a business development or something going on in the business environment, we'll help them do. Now that is the business services team that I am the manager of at Michigan Works Southeast.
Okay.
Of course, there's an entire different part of Michigan Works Southeast that services job seekers, but I think today we're going to focus on the business services part.
Absolutely, and I think that's important that you touched on that because there are different assets or departments, I guess, within Michigan Works, both assets
Yes.
to the community and to the businesses and the region that you guys serve. So that's fantastic. So what exactly does Michigan Works do?
So a specific example I can give you is if you are a business and you are seeking talent, right, and everyone right now is looking for talent.
That's one thing I was going to mention is everybody that we either have on as a guest or even talk to just kind of on a daily basis as a chamber,
Right.
being a business organization, we are hearing there's such a need for talent for just even a pool
Yeah.
of candidates at this point.
Right. Obviously, there's a large gap right now, and it's not just local, right? It's across the nation. You can turn on the news and see it, right?
Yes.
There's a large gap between the needs of employers and open positions, and then the work pool that is currently, willing or able to participate in that workforce, right? But for instance, if you have open positions, you can give us a call. We'll help you list that position on something called My Talent Connect, which is a state job board which funnels into other sources of job seekers looking for those positions. You can give us a call. We can work with you on developing maybe job descriptions for that position. If you're interested in doing a job fair. Now, traditionally job fairs have been done in person where we will have a physical space where we have businesses there connecting with job seekers that are walking up the resume. But with COVID, we've been creative, partnering with the state in a system called Brazen Virtual Job Fairs, where we can host a job fair online either for a single employer event or a collaborative like businesses that want to get together and post their jobs in a virtual environment where we can connect a job seeker with a agent of your business directly, either in a chat session or in a Zoom type environment where they are connecting with people.
How often have you done those, and are they successful? I'm just very curious.
Yeah, great question. So I was reviewing some of that data earlier on a different call today. So we've done 4 of those. We have potentially.
And this is in our region, correct?
Yes, in our region
Okay.
here. Now, some of those, are obviously with a business that is anchored in a different county, but we certainly draw on solicited talent from all 5 counties.
Absolutely.
But we've done 4 of those in what I will say successfully, and we're learning about what works from marketing. We're learning about participation turnout from who's registering for those events, and the number of registrants that actually show up to the event. But we have made over, I think it's about 442 total connections during these 4 different job events. And when I say connections, that is where you are talking to somebody in a virtual environment, again, either text, chat, or Zoom. And usually the way that works is you will initially text chat with a potential candidate, and you will have access to their resume or whatever credentials they've uploaded. If you're interested in extending that conversation further, you can ask them to a Zoom chat where you have more of a face-to-face. And from that point, it's up to the employer if they want to conduct an interview or if they just really want to use it as a pre-screening opportunity to set up a more in-depth interview later on. Because during that environment, the goal is to connect you to as many people as possible. So if you're really doing a whole interview, you're kind of missing the opportunity of people online who want to connect with you.
Lead generation,
Right.
Absolutely. And
Perfect word, lead generation.
And it's really interesting to see that in such a virtual in a virtual format, and I just have
It's
to
cool.
say
It's pretty neat.
it is really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm vaguely familiar with the platform, but I do think that seen as we're just a little over a year here now with the COVID, and the fact that you have been able to host 4 of these, I think is really remarkable and pretty outstanding. So kudos to you guys and your team at Michigan Works. I think that's awesome.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And kudos to the entire team at Michigan Works and our partners who have reached out to us who have wanted to participate in these new tools, right? It's been something different for them as well. So
Awesome.
I appreciate their partnership.
So could you talk a little bit about the employment landscape today and how it's unique?
Sure, it's tough, right? So, you know, what I'm observing, I can share what I'm observing. I'm always careful to share my opinions, but what I'm observing is, there's a large number of employers who are looking. I get 3 or 4 calls a week for somebody who can hire, wants 5 people or can hire 5 people yesterday, right? So, in a very challenging hiring environment, what I'm encouraging and what I'm, recommending that people do is, make sure they're looking at investing in their current resources, right? So hopefully here in a moment we can talk a little bit about the training grants that are available to businesses. You can reach out to us. We're going to help you connect to talent and resources, but that's a challenge right now, and there's no, easy short-term solution for that, right? One thing I do encourage too, my team is encouraging that businesses take advantage of not only advertising their wage or salary, but talk about their culture. Why does somebody want to move from a current job to work for you, or why does somebody want to get out of their comfort zone that maybe we have all found during COVID to come work for you? And with the large opportunities that job seekers have, you really got to make yourself stand out about who you are as a culture, why people want to work there, maybe some of the unique work schedules and flexibility that you're offering. Those are the things that are drawing the attention right now, and that's what we see when we do the job fairs too. Is the organizations that are standing out are really appealing uniquely to job seekers.
Absolutely, you're 100% right, and I think that's the other piece. We actually invited a guest onto the show, and she brought in testimonials from current employees.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
they are truly, we're trying to express their culture, and what a better way to do that than right from another employee. So
Yes.
No, that's wonderful. We're getting short on time already, I believe it or not. So if you could just go over some of that, those staff investment tools, training grants, that would be fabulous.
Yeah, you bet. So, we have several types of grants that we would love to talk to your listeners about. We have OJT grants, which are on the job training, where if you're hiring somebody new, talk to us before you make that offer. We can talk to you about paying for up to 50% of their training program, up to 400 hours or 6 months. We have incumbent worker training grants, where if someone's been in your environment or on the job for 6 months and they want to upgrade skills, give us a call. We can help them do that. And of course, annually we have Going Pro Talent Fund grants that are a competitive state grant, which will help businesses do apprenticeships, training grants, skills upgrades. Give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about those things.
Awesome. So
it's a great resource available to every businesses. I used to walk by our office all the time, not realize the good work we did, and I'd like to share it with the community.
So amazing, and that's exactly what I was going to say. What an incredible asset, and to have you guys right here in our region. So thank you so much for your time today, Tom, and we hope that we'll have our members or more businesses contact you. How would they do that?
Yep. So if they want to reach out and contact us, check out our website at www.michiganworks or wmwse.org. Or give me a call at my cell phone, which is 517-245-9484, or call our Livingston Service Center at 517-546-7540. We'd love to hear from them.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. Welcome to the area in your new role. I know it's a little late, but we're happy to have you. And thanks for coming on today.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
All right.